So today we are actually discussing catalog items. Why do we use catalog items? Okay, let me just explain you. Guys, remember one thing. In the organizations, if you need something from someone, you have to raise a request. You have to raise a request. Let us say you need a document. You need a document from your manager, or you need a document from your colleague. So how do you ask, hey boss, can you give me the document? Is this how you will ask? Or hello Subramanyam, could you please share the document with me? You will politely ask them. So how do you ask, guys?
Most of the time, politely.
Politely, we ask politely.
He
So we,
don't ask every time. He asks most of the time.
Naresh, it should be always polite, man.
Sure. I'm sorry for.
Yeah. Okay. So here, what I'm trying to tell is, we need to request something. If you need something from someone, okay, we have to request. We will not actually order something. Order means you will not actually um,
Demand.
demand. Yeah, we can say. So we should not actually demand that. We need to request. Let us say you need a company laptop. You will have to raise a request for company laptop. You need a stationery. Okay, you will have to raise a request. You need any access, so you will have to raise a request. So end of the day, what you guys have to understand is, if you need something from someone, you have to raise a request. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here guys, you can see there is a table called request, sc underscore req underscore request, sc underscore request dot list. So these are requests actually. So in this request table, you cannot directly create a record. So if you click on new, right, it will not show request form. Is it showing request form? It is showing service catalogs. That means you cannot directly create a request. You cannot directly create a request. A request should be submitted from catalogs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, usually request form, how request form will look like, I'll show you. See, this is how the request form will look like. Okay. So you should not actually create request from this form. Request should be always created from the service catalogs. So now you tell me, why do we have to create a request from the service catalogs? Why can't we create the why can't we create the request from the request form? Tell me, guys. I will tell you. If you are requesting something, you might have some specifications, right? You might have some specifications. Let us say if you are requesting company mobile. So for your project, it might need only, it might accept only Apple phones. So in the Apple phone, what color you want, what configuration you want. Okay. So those specifications also matters, right? What do you say, guys?
Yes, Uday.
If you are requesting a company laptop, if you need Mac OS and other specifications, other configurations also you can actually specify there. After specifying all the specifications, you can actually submit a request. Okay. So here I am going to create a service catalog in today's session. Okay. How do we create a service catalog? I will actually explain you now. Here you go to the all, you can just type maintain items. Maintain items. So I have already created a few service catalogs. So this is actually the service catalog which I created. Okay. This is the service catalog that I created. So if you just click on try it on the service catalog. So these are the specifications that you have to provide. Okay. So these are the details you have provided. So you are actually requesting book pen to which place? Tower 3, seat number 456, and this is the ODC. So you have specified all these details and you are actually requesting. You can just click on this one. It will actually create a request. See here, it has created request or not. You can just click on this request number. So it has actually created a record on the request table or not.
Yes, Uday.
Okay. Under this request, which item you requested here? See, request stationery. Under this request, you have actually requested an item, right? That is actually called a requested item. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So under this request, you have to deliver this requested item. Under this request, you have to deliver this requested item. Okay. So here, let me just open this one. If you just click on this, try it. If you just click on this, try it. You have to design this catalog form. You have to design this catalog form. Okay. After designing this catalog form, you will actually submit the request. It will create a request. So I am just ordering now. So once I order now, it will actually create a request. Okay. So now I am going to create a new catalog item. I am going to create a new catalog item. Okay. So that is actually request access. Request access. Okay. So guys, remember one thing. Request access catalog item I am actually creating. So here in the catalogs, you will just select service catalog. So here you will actually select a category. So it is actually software category. Okay. So here I have just created a catalog item. When you click on try it, there is nothing here. There is nothing here. Okay. Here you can see variables. Here you can see variables. So variables are nothing but fields. Like you have table fields, right? Okay. Table fields, right? Table fields you all know, right?
Yes, sir.
Similar way, in the catalogs, we call them as variables. Fields are called variables in the catalogs. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So in the tables, we call it as fields, but in the catalog items, we call it as variables. Okay. Here I am actually creating a variable here. Let me just duplicate this tab. I am creating a variable here. See here, these are actually variable types. Like we have field types, right? Like we have field types, right? Similar way, we have actually variable types. Okay. See here, I am actually selecting reference. Order as 100. Order means order with the lowest number will actually appear first, as we all know, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, requested for field is actually mandatory field. Requested for. So like we have field label, question is actually field label, name is actually field name. So label, do we use label or do we use name for scripting
Name.
purpose? We
Name.
always use name. So this is actually label, this is actually name. So we always use this name for scripting purpose. Okay. So here I'm actually referencing user table. Okay. I have created a variable now. And second variable I'm actually creating here as requested by. Okay. Requested for, requested by. For this one, I'm actually giving here as order 200. It is not a mandatory one. It is read only one. So here in the variables, single line text means string field. String field, right? We all know string field, right? Single line text means string field. Email. Email is also a read-only field. So another one, phone number. Okay. So now if you take a look at the catalog item, so this is the catalog item that you have created. So in the catalog item, you have created 5 variables. Now how the catalog form will look like, we can see. See, this is how the catalog form will look like. Okay. So what my customer is asking is that, so I have to show these catalog variables in 2 columns. We are able to show it in 1 column, right? We should be able to show it in 2 columns. So what do we have to do in this case? What do we have to do in this case? Here we have to split the variables. We have to split the variables. How do we split the variables? You have to create a new variable that is actually for splitting purpose. Container start. Order is actually 50. Okay. Container split 250. Order 250, guys. Remember this point. Based on the order, splitting will happen. See, we are able to show it in 2 columns or not?
Container start is start of the split.
Yes. Container split is actually Here we are actually splitting order 100, 200, 250 we are actually splitting here. And another column is actually coming after 300, 400, 500. You
But
take
I
a
have
look at,
given 50, right?
sorry,
We have given 50
see here,
containers.
container start as 50
Hmm.
and requested for is actually 100, requested by is 200. 250 is actually container split. Let me give here as 350. Hundred, 200, 350, 400. This one let me give here as 250, here as 300. Now if you refresh this one, see this is how the catalog form is looking like. Okay, requested by email, phone number, department. Okay, so requested for can be, you can request for anyone, you can request for yourself, but requested by will be always same. Do you agree or not? Requested by will always be same. Who is the current logged in user? That person is actually the requested by, right?
Yes.
Requested for means you can request for yourself, you can request for someone else, right? That is why this requested for is actually editable. This requested by is actually read only. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here this department I want to pass it here. Where is department? For this department I am actually giving 225. See, why am I keeping the order gap here? Can any one of you guys guess? Why am I giving 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, something like that? Why am I giving the order gap?
So that new items can be added.
Tomorrow, if customer has come and then he says like new variable should be created, means in that case, you can actually give the order in between these numbers. Okay. We will just refresh this one. Yes. This is how the catalog form is looking like. Okay. So here you need three accesses. You need three accesses. Okay. So those three accesses I have to keep here. Those are actually check boxes. Check box. This one order I'm actually giving 600. Okay. ITIL role. Okay. $700. Admin role. So you have created catalog item, something like this one. Okay. Here you will actually select the requested for whom you are actually requesting access. Whom you are actually requesting access is actually requested for. So here in the requested by, it should be always current logged in user. Okay. As soon as you select the requested for here, requested for email, requested for department, requested phone number should be automatically populated. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, right? Yeah. So here I have to populate the current logged in user in the requested by and requester for by default when you open the catalog form. By default, when you open the catalog form, requested for requested by should be populated with the current logged in user. Who is the current logged in user here? System administrator, right? Isn't it,
Yes, sir.
guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So now what I do is I'll actually open the catalog form. I'll actually open the catalog. I will open each variable, requested for variable, requested by variable, requested for, requested by variable. In the requested for, you have default value. So this default value option is available on the fields also, right? How many of you remember default value concept?
Yes.
So similar way, we have actually default value on the variables. So here what am I doing is I am actually keeping current logged in user as JavaScript colon, okay, gs dot get user ID.
So you are using advanced reference qualifier, right?
Yeah, this is not a reference qualifier. This is actually default value.
Okay.
In the default value, I have actually written the script.
Yeah.
This is not a reference qualifier, man. So this is actually requested for. Same line of script I am actually keeping in the requested by as well. Now, if you open the catalog form here, if you refresh the catalog form here, so current logged in user is populated here in the requested and requested by, right? Requested by will be always same. Requested for can be, you can request for anyone as well. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, right, it should not be here in the reference qualifier, you should not be able to select inactive users. For inactive users, you cannot actually request access, right? Guys, for inactive
No.
user, you cannot actually request access, right? For inactive users. Then in the requested for, I can actually keep a reference qualifier here as well. See, in the variables also you have reference qualifiers. So simple reference qualifier I am using here. So active, true. Okay. So now here you can only see active references, active records. Okay. Okay. So here, right, as soon as you select the requested for here, this requested for details should be automatically populated here. So that means requested for, who is requested for here? System administrator. System administrator email, department and phone number should be automatically populated. Suppose if you have selected able tutor here, able tutor email address, department and phone number should be automatically populated here. Okay. So guys, like we have client scripts on the tables, we have actually catalog client scripts on the catalog items. If you go here, if you scroll little up here, you have actually catalog client scripts. Do we have? So we have actually catalog client scripts. So in the tables, we have actually, client scripts, right? Similar way, we have actually catalog client scripts here. Okay. Clear, right? So when I click on new here, I am going to write catalog client script. So here we have actually three types of catalog client scripts. What are those three types of catalog client scripts? So here you have actually on change, on load, on change, on submit. There is no on selected client script. So usually on the tables, we have actually four types of client scripts, right? On load, on change, on submit and on selected. But here in the catalog client scripts, we have actually three types of catalog client scripts are available. Now I am actually creating on change client script. Okay. So on change of which field, which variable? On change of which variable, guys?
Requested for.
Requested for. So here I am actually selecting requested for. So on change of requested for, these values should be populated, right? That is why I am actually writing on change client script here. So here you have to select UI type as all. Okay. Populate all of details. Okay. So here our client script should also work on the form load, right? Catalog form load, right? Then you will actually remove this condition. Okay. So here in the normal catalog, normal client scripts, you have 5 parameters: control, old value, new value, is loading, is template is also there in the normal client scripts. But here in the catalog client scripts, you have only 4 parameters here: control, old value, new value, and is loading here. Okay. So here, if you have to get the database value to the client side, which API do we have to use, guys? if you have to get the database value to the client side, which API do we use?
Glide record.
Who has answered this answer?
No, sorry, sir.
We will use glide ajax to get the database value to client side or not?
Yes, yes.
Huh? So as soon as you select the requested for here, we have to get the requested for details from the database and you have to populate it on the client side, right? Isn't it? So here what we have to do, we have to use glide ajax. We have to use glide ajax. So don't question me that why glide ajax has come again. Here we have to, as client scripts has come here, we have to write glide ajax. Situation demands, guys. Okay. So now what I am going to do is I am going to create a script include first. So remember the guys, try to understand the glide ajax concept again. So here I am actually creating a script include. So this is the script include that I am actually creating client callable. Okay. I have to query the user table where gr user is equal to new. From random name I am actually providing here. Random SysID I am providing here. Okay. So what are all the details that we want? Okay. Okay, you have actually created a script include. So inside the script include, what are you doing? You are actually querying the user table. You are actually querying the user table with a specific SysID, and that particular record, email address, mobile phone, and department, you are actually getting those details. You are actually passing to the return statement using double colon separated. Okay, double colon separated. Okay, I'm actually separating the string using this double colon, right? Okay. So guys, remember one thing, I'm actually querying the user table with a specific SysID. Here I'm actually, I have given some random SysID here. Later I will alter it. So consider this is actually able tutor record SysID. So you are actually querying the user table with able tutor SysID, and you are getting able tutor email, able tutor phone number, and able tutor department by separated with the double colon, and whatever the string that you are getting, that string you are actually passing in the return statement. Okay. So creation of the script include part is done. Now what we will do is, in the client script, we will actually call the script include, where GA is equal to new glide ajax the script include name. The function name. So you have to pass the selected requested for SysID to the script include, right? So sysparam underscore requester comma this new value I am passing here. GA dot get XML answer I am splitting the response using double colon. Okay. G underscore form dot set value. So here you can use glide form. Email comma answer of 0. One. Two. So this parameter you have to pass it in the script include, right? I have just kept this one. Okay. So I am just creating this client script. So now I have actually created a on change catalog client script on the request access catalog item. So now if you refresh this one, if you refresh this one,
Sir,
So
Client
here,
department is not there.
okay, I
To
have to
get
modify this
display
one.
value, right?
Here I have to modify it as department. Okay. Yes. So if I refresh this one, see, current logged in user email address is getting populated. Mobile number, in place of mobile number, what is getting populated? Finance department name is getting populated, right? So what is the mistake we'll have to identify?
F isn't get display value for department. Why so?
I'll tell you, man. Where is our catalog item? Zero, 1, 2. Requested for department, email, phone number. Email. Okay. First one is email. Second one is mobile phone. You are populating correctly, na? Yeah. Now it is actually populating correctly. See, as soon as I opened the form, as soon as I opened the catalog form, requested for is actually populating with the current logged in user. Requested by is actually populating with the current logged in user. Requested for is actually editable field. Requested by is actually not editable field. So whatever you select here, if you are selecting able tutor here, able tutor email address, able tutor phone number, able tutor department should be populated automatically here. See, able tutor email address, able tutor department, and able tutor doesn't have phone number. That is why it did populate. It didn't populate anything here. So here Saurav has asked one thing here. So why did I use get display value here in the end for department alone? Why didn't I use get display value for this one? So department field is actually a reference field in the user table. In the user table, department is actually a reference field. Okay. If you go to the user table here, if you open the user record, department is actually a reference field. Okay, department is reference field or not? Saurav.
Yes, yes.
So for reference fields, we will get sysid. By default, we will get sysid. So I don't want sysid. I want the display name. Display name is actually IT. So to get the display name, I have actually taken the get display value here. Okay. So why did I take the get display value? Why didn't I take sysid here? Because here in the catalog form, this is not a reference field. The department variable that I have created, that is actually not a reference one. That is actually string type field. So if you get the sysid, it will actually populate the sysid here. So instead of populating sysid, I have actually taken the display name. I populated the display name here. So this variable is not a reference variable. This is actually a single line text string variable. Is it clear? Is your doubt clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So here user must select at least one role here. Out of these 3 roles, user must select at least one role. Without submitting one role, he should not be able to submit the catalog form. Now we did not actually make any one of these choices mandatory. Okay, we did not make any one of these choices as mandatory. So without selecting these things also you can submit it. So but here at least one variable should be mandatory here. See, one checkbox should be mandatory. That means they should be able to select at least one role here. So what we can do in this case? So we cannot directly make mandatory on these checkboxes. So if you check this checkbox, you must select this ITIL role. If you make this checkbox mandatory, you must select this ITIL role. So it is not like that. Out of these 3 roles, user should be selecting any one of the roles. Okay. Requirement is clear or not? So for that, what we have to do is we have to create catalog UI policies. Like we have actually UI policies on the tables. Similar way, we have actually catalog UI policies on the catalog items. If you scroll up here, you have actually catalog UI policies. You have catalog line scripts, you have catalog UI policies. So I am going to create a catalog UI policy here. Okay. Okay. Here ITIL is false and ITIL admin is false. And admin is false. So that means user did not select any role. So this condition means user did not select any role. In that case, what we have to do? We have to make any one of the role mandatory. We have to make any one of the role mandatory. Mandatory true. Okay. Now I am going to the form. If you refresh the form, here, see here it is showing mandatory or not. If you have selected this any one of the checkboxes, it will become non-mandatory. See, it has become non-mandatory or not. If you uncheck this one, it will become mandatory again. Are we able to make any one of the roles mandatory or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So let us say out of these three things, I can select these three things, but you must select at least one. So I have selected ITIM. Okay. As soon as I select any one of these roles, so this comments field also should become mandatory. So in that case, what I can do, I go to the UI policy. Where is this UI policy? Yeah. So I can go to the UI policy. I can also make a comments field as well, comments variable as well mandatory. Visible true as well. By default, this field should not be visible. By default, this field should not be visible. When you select this one, so when you select this checkbox, this comment field should be visible and should become mandatory. That is what our requirement, right? Where is this UI policy? No. So same requirement, you cannot actually achieve it in the same. So this one, I have created another UI policy. Mandatory false. Visible false. Zero. So let me refresh this catalog form. See, this comment field should become mandatory and visible whenever you check this checkbox. So whenever you check these checkboxes, any one of these checkboxes, it should become mandatory and should be visible. So that means whatever the UI policies that I created, those are actually not working fine.
Yes, you have given false condition. It should be either one of them should be true or right.
Yeah, yes. Okay. I'm just saving this one. Here in the roles mandatory, we have to remove that condition comments one. Okay, now let me just refresh the form. See here, as soon as I select this one, the comments field is actually appearing and then it is getting mandatory. When I uncheck this one, see, the comments field is actually disappearing and it is not getting mandatory. So here, this is how you will actually design the catalog form, guys. Okay, this is how you will actually design the catalog form. You will write catalog line scripts and catalog UI policies. Okay, so we have just learned how to design the catalog form. Okay, in tomorrow's session, we will be understanding few more things regarding catalog items. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, Uday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll wind up the session for today and we'll be connecting tomorrow. Okay.
Uday, can I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah, we can connect on phone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.